RF Audio. I'm joined today by our colleague Tyson Bruff, who's joined us as part of the RF Audio crew. Welcome, Tyson.
Hey Mike, how are we?
Yeah, good. So I thought we'd take the opportunity, A, to introduce Tyson first of all, and secondly, what we want to do is run through a couple of things that are with the setup of our equipment. We've done a video on setting up the radios in one of our previous videos, but today I wanted to run through the actual setup of getting the vest and the headset on in the right place and the radio in the vest properly. We've got a few people that have had some issues in the past just by routing the wiring a little bit differently, so we've got this preferred method that we really want to go with. So I'm thinking if we use Tyson as our model today, we should be able to get that up and running. Okay, so what first thing we'll do is we'll have a look at the RF Audio Sports Communications vest. All right, so we either use a vest or we use an arm pocket. Vest is the preferred option. Clearly, they come in a couple of different sizes. We've got a large one for Tyson. He's obviously been working out at the gym. So, if you don't know Tyson, Tyson's also a Q Cup referee for the Queensland Rugby League and also NRL referee. So, he had a fair bit of experience wearing communications equipment. So he's pretty good with how they work. So, first of all, we're getting to pop this vest on. So just pop it over your head. Now, the tag at the front is the front. Now, all that'll come into view very shortly, and it'll come into reason why we put the tag at the front. Makes it easy to do up. So yes, normally you would wear this underneath your shirt. So, but obviously it's a G-rated program today, so we'll leave the shirt on. So first of all, just pop that in now. Keep it nice and loose. Now what Tyson's done there is just twisted that a bit, so I'll just whip that out and help him out. So put the vest on and just leave it very loose, so around through the middle here. So loosen the tabs right off. You can see how it's at the front. What you're able to do then is pull it forward and tighten it up when you need to. So if that was at the back, that would make it really difficult. So leave this nice and loose just to start with. The alternative is you can also pre-wire the headset in the vest before you go. So first up, we'll just use our open mic headset. So this one here is obviously the one without the large push to talk, which we'll show you second. And this is generally worn by the referee in the centre. So what you'll notice in the bottom of the vest here, at the front, is these two little open tabs that give you the access to the pocket. So pop the headset in through the tab first, open up the vest, put your hands in, and just pop the cable through there. The next thing you want to do is decide which earpiece do you wear your earpiece in?
Left.
On the left. Okay, so what we do is we take it around here to the right and we just sit it out here at the back just for the moment. So what we want to do is get the radio set up next. Three different types of radios that we have, as you know, at RF Audio. So this is our Elite model. We also have our new Ref Audio Pro Plus, and of course the mainstay of the business so far is our budget range of just Ref Audio Pro. These have been a fantastic radio for us, and I know a lot of our customers around the country use those radios. Today we're going to use Ref Audio Elite, and I just want to show you the different connections on them because they are slightly different. So in the base of the radio is where the headset connector goes. So what we do there is just make sure that the other tab, which is the charging tab, is closed. That keeps any potential water out. So the first thing we do is place the headset into the base of the radio. Now you'll notice that it'll go in and then give it a really good click. So that way you know it's in good. Now you can turn the radio on at this stage, or you can just leave it off momentarily, but for this stage we'll just leave it off. Now what we do then is, Tyson, you want to go with that? So we just gently feed that back into the pocket, and while you're doing so, slide it down in there. Now you'll notice that Tyson put the radio in with the connector, the clip belt facing outwards. Clearly this just makes it a little bit more comfortable, and the screen sits up against your chest and doesn't cause any dramas. So the cable comes out through the base of the pocket, and then what we do is just trace the cable around under the arm and then place the microphone up here on the shoulder and just secure it with this little tab just momentarily. Now with the microphone, what we want to do here is have the microphone around the level of the collarbone and facing downwards. So what you need to do here is the microphone clip just rotates, so rotate it around. Then what we want to do is just clip it onto the vest, like so, and then just make some slight adjustments so it sits there. Now it's facing downwards. That prevents any rain or any water from getting in the microphone. Referee's having a drink. That means that we don't get any blockage of the microphone. Now we've secured the microphone in the right position. What we're going to do there is just come across here and sort out our earpiece. Now, we've got a couple of different types of earpiece that we can use in the air tube headset. As you can see, the speaker for the headset is actually here, and this is all our air tube. So this is the earbud, and then we also have what we call our ear mould. Now these are a silastic ear insert. They are a fantastic little item. They're the ones I prefer to use. So they come in lefts and rights. Now what you'll notice is the big bump at the top, and that faces towards the front. So this one will be the right one, and this one will be a left. So what we can do there is, instead of using the earbud, which would just go straight into the ear, what we'll do is we'll set this one up with our ear mould. So a lot of people want to put the ear mould in this way, in this direction, which is just not right. So it goes in this way, so I'll preset it. Just push that all the way in. Now we need to have the bump facing forward and the tubing going backwards. Then what we do with that is pop that in there, and then we just place it in to the ear and just give it a bit of a push, and there it is in place. Now that's nice and tight, so that can't come out. Then all we do then is come around this side, and we'll place the clip on the back here just by making some adjustments, and that would go on your referee shirt after we put the referee shirt on. So what we do now is we put on our referee shirt and then just tip that at the back. Now all this cabling here is quite tidy. If you need to tidy that up any more, you can always use this little clip at the back just to seal it there, or you can just tuck it in here. But what we generally find is with the limited cabling that we now put on, and turn around for me again, and now's the time that we then adjust the whole lot and bring it all nice and tight, because we want this sitting nice and firm so the radio doesn't bounce around. So that's basically the setup. So it's nice and comfortable there, and obviously then do a quick sound check before you go out and you're ready to roll. Alright, so what we'll do is I'm just going to show you the setup on how to change from an earbud to the ear mould. Now this particular one is a right ear mould. How can you tell it's right? It faces towards, the big bump at the top here faces towards the right. And also, if you've already got really good eyesight, up on the top of the bump here you'll either see an MR for a medium right, or in this case an LR, which is a large right. So the first thing we do is, your headset comes supplied with a earbud. So what we'll do is just remove that earbud. So hold it here at the connector, just twist and pull, and that takes the earbud off. Next thing we do is we make sure that we get the ear mould set up correctly. Now, it may look like the tubing wants to connect here, but that's the actual section that goes down in the ear canal. So the little angled connector goes into the back of the ear mould. Now just hold this quite firmly, just give it a little twist and a push, and that goes all the way in. The next thing you want to do is then just grab the tubing here and twist it so that the tubing goes towards the back and the big bump goes towards the front. Now if you preset your ear mould up before you try and put it in your ear in this fashion, you'll find it's much easier to put in. These are a little tricky when you first use them for the first couple of times, but as you use them over and over again, you get better at it. So now we've got the ear mould set up correctly. What we want to do then is just place the air tube over the ear and then slide this long section down into the ear canal, and then just push this lower section of the ear mould into the ear. Now what you'll find is this little large bump here is just going to sit in that section up the top there. So once we get that in place, it's just a bit of a push, there it is, and the air tube sits in there. That's a little bit there it is. Ah, that's better. See, it popped into place. Now that sits nice and firmly. There's no way that's going to come out. And then just add a little bit of tension to the air tube by bringing it across to the opposite side and then clipping it to the back of the shirt. Alright, so the other type of headset that we sell here at RF Audio is the push-to-talk headset. Now in rugby, the assistant referees use push-to-talk headset. So what we will do now is we'll set the push-to-talk up on the vest using much the same setup as we did with the open mic, but instead we now have this large push-to-talk button that we need to place on the vest to make it the best positioning. What you will notice, I'll just show you very quickly before we start, is that on the back of the large button you've got this big rotating clip. Now that's really important. that when we go to position that we just have that clip set up and we can make adjustments to it as we go. Same setup, so we start once again with the vest and slide that in through the bottom of the pocket, bring it up through the top. Now just be careful because the button's quite heavy. So what you can do in the initial stages is just clip that on there just to hide it out of the way and just sit the tubing up on your shoulder. Once again, grab your radio. Again, we're using Ref Audio Elite today. Remembering that we need to make sure that the charging port is closed and the cable hooks in across the radio this way. You can put the cable in this way, but it won't work. So, simple. It only goes in one way, goes across here, once again, clips in, holds down. So Tice, just slide that through. And once again, we just, as we bring the radio down, just let the cable come through. The next thing we need to determine is that the assistant referees or the official who's using the button just needs to work out what their preferred side to put the large push-to-talk button on. You can see we have it here around about the chest level, so that when you're running along, we can find the button. Just for the purposes of this one, we'll put it on the right side. So what you do is just have a look and see where the cable comes across into the button, and then just turn that over and just make sure the clip is facing downwards. So then we slide the button here straight onto the vest, and then again we bring it around, just shuffle across over this way, and we then again choose what side we're going to be putting our earpiece in and our headset. So for this demonstration, we're actually going to put the earpiece in the right side, so our microphone goes on the opposite side. Why do we do that? That prevents any interference coming from a headset bouncing on top of the microphone and causing any noise to come through the microphone. So again, just turn your microphone clip around, slide the clip onto the vest. It's a bit harder to do when I'm a bit distance, but that's okay. Out around about the level of the collarbone again, and just secure it with the tab to make sure everything's nice and neat. Shuffle over this side. Now what we've done is I've set up here with our ear mould Silastic ear insert again, and I've set that up for the right side. So the big bump to the front and the tubing to the back. So I said place it over the ear first. Then what we're going to do is just slide it into the ear canal with that big bump. That's this section here goes down into the ear canal, and then this little bump at the top here sits up in the top of the ear, but we'll show you that on a closer video. You've got taller, Tyson, I think. So there it is. That's nearly in place. I've just got to rotate that back slightly, and there it is in place. So you can see the big bump here sitting at the back. And once again, then we just move the tubing across and put the clip. So I'll get you to turn around. And then we just clip at the back here to secure that in place once we put our referee's jersey on. Again, if there's any excess cable, all you can do at the back here is just clip it up at the back. Then the last thing we do is just tighten the vest up to make it nice and comfortable. You'll find that there's plenty of adjustment there. You just pull that in. If you need to, you can bring the microphone, the push-to-talk button in a little bit closer and just tighten that up. So that gives you your button. It's right in position. When you need it, you can just press the button to talk. All right, let's talk about the RF Audio arm pocket. Now these are a fantastic alternative to the vest, particularly if you're wearing an open mic and you live in the warmer climates like we do up here in Queensland. Starting off the season, 32 degrees running around the field, it's a little bit better just having a little arm pocket sitting on your arm. Also very, very good for when you're a junior referee and you're just starting out. So it's a nice alternative to the vest. First thing we do with the arm pocket is we tend to put the headset in place before we slide up the arm. Now this is a little bit of a trick that we've learned. So what we do first of all is place the headset through the arm pocket and then find the little space in the bottom of the pocket again, and then just feed the headset in through the base of the pocket. That could be a little bit tricky. There you go. These are all brand new, so they're a little bit tight to start with. And then just bring the cable up through the top of the pocket. Once we do that, grab our radio. For this one, we're going to use Ref Audio Pro, one of our mainstays. Fantastic little radio, served us very well. Now with this particular one, what we do is just hold back the little waterproof tabs that are there, place the headset into the radio, and again, give it that extra click to make sure it's in place. Then with Ref Audio Pro, what we can do then is just slide the radio straight down into the arm pocket. Doing so. And then just feeding the cable out through the bottom of the pocket as it goes down. Don't pull on the cable, just push the radio down and just be nice and gentle. Now you'll notice that then the cable is then running up through the arm pocket, and what'll happen is that'll be all come pretty obvious shortly. Then we slide the arm pocket up the arm. So keeping it fairly loose to start with. And what we want to do here is make sure that, remembering this is going to be under your shirt, so we can just move that up over here. We want the arm pocket to sit just above the bicep, which is the big muscle here on your arm. So it sits up here on your shoulder. And then what you do is just gently tie that around. Now, where the cable's coming out, just make sure it comes out through the top here, around the back there. Now, by placing the cable initially around and then coming back up under here, what it does is it actually protects the cable and stops the cable from sliding down your arm. So that holds that cable in place. So that'll keep that nice and firm for you. Again, very similarly now, what we're going to do is we would have, if you don't have your shirt on at the moment, you would place your shirt on, and then all this cabling would sit actually underneath your shirt. So it would actually go up through here. So we'll just slide that through, Tyson, so I'll beat you up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to grab that cable as it comes through?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's easy to do without your shirt on. Alright, so just bring those two in. There should be a microphone there as well, mate. There she is. Alright. Now, if you're wearing a shirt similar to this, your referee shirt's very similar, what we want to do is, again, place the microphone underneath the shirt. So what we do here is just undo your shirt, and then place the microphone in this section just here like that. And then what you do is just fold over the shirt and button it up. And then that way, that protects the microphone from any wind noise that may come on the microphone. Still works perfectly well under the shirt. If you don't have a collared shirt like that, all you need to do is just pinch the shirt underneath and pinch the clothing and put the microphone here. We wanted it once again around about the level of the collarbone. If that's annoying you, just move that out of the way a little bit. Again, with the earpiece now, setting it up, what we do is the big bump goes to the front. So again, what we need to do here is make sure that we place the tubing into the back of the ear mold. Remembering that this section here is the section that goes down the ear canal. And then what we do is set up the tubing, so you'll need to twist that so that the tubing is facing backwards and the ear mold section is facing to the front. So we'll just pop that over the ear, down the ear canal, and then just give it a little push, and that holds it in place. Now you'll see that the big bump here is sitting behind here, and then we just bring the tubing across and clip it onto the back of the shirt. Now any excess tubing that you've got, you can push down into the shirt, and that'll just bob around in the back of your shirt. It's minimal the way it works, and then come around the front again. Then what we need to do is just pull the shirt over so it's tucked in out of the way. And there we are, arm pocket. A little bit of cabling at the front here. Let's just tidy that up, because that might annoy you as you go along. All right, and there we are. How's that? Comfortable? Ready to roll.